What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another one. And in this video, we're doing another product review on a pretty cool fishing rod and reel combo. We're doing a review on the Lews Mach Smash Baitcasting combo. Now, this rod and reel comes in at a medium heavy fast action rod, and these things are super cool. It's a 7-foot, 2-inch rod, and I'm super excited about it. So we're gonna talk about this thing and just tell you what I think about it. We're gonna give it some casts and try and catch a fish today. We're out in the kayak. So let's see what we can do. We're gonna talk about this thing. Let's jump into it. So as we start to break this thing down, I'm throwing a weighted Texas rig. It's kind of like what I like to start with. I don't like to start with too light of a weight on a new rod. And just kind of looking at it, obviously it's got the red and black finish, which I think looks super slick. It's kind of one of the things that caught my attention when I was looking for another rod and reel. I think the red and black finish looks super nice. You have a little grip here, you know, kind of where your hand rests, which I think is also a nice little plus. It's definitely very grippy. But yeah, I think it looks really, really nice. I think the red and black finish looks pretty slick. It kind of caught my eye to start with. But as we look at the rod, I think the rod really shines here at the medium heavy fast action rod. That's really what I like to see in my bait casting combos. I don't really like anything smaller than that, and I don't really like anything heavier than that. I just feel like at the medium heavy fast action, you really get a lot of feel in your rod, so you can kind of feel every little bite that you get. I put a 12-pound monofilament on here. Started a little bit smaller with the line just because I wasn't sure. A lot of the times, you know, I'll start with a monofilament or a fluorocarbon. And then once I get more adjusted to the combo that I'm using, you know, then I'll throw a braided line on there or something like that. It seems like it casts really, really well. I will say it seems like the reel seems maybe a little cheap. It seems like it's kind of plasticky. And another thing to note too, this is my second time ever using this combo, and it already has some scuffs on it. So I don't know if it's the matte finish to this, if the paint just chips really easily, but that was one of the things that I kind of noticed that I wasn't super happy about. Obviously not that big a deal. You know, it's still going to be used it's still going to get the job done and do what it's supposed to, but I just kind of would expect with a more expensive Baitcaster that, you know, it would hold up better. Not to say that it's not going to stand the test of time. I think that it will. The rod definitely will. There's no questions about that. It definitely feels like they put time and effort into this rod, and it doesn't seem like it's made cheaply or anything like that, but the reel does. I'd say that the rod definitely shines in this situation. But all in all, you know, you get a 7:5:1 gear ratio, which I think is pretty standard. I don't have anything to say too bad about that. I think it's good. You're definitely reel fast enough. It's got 8 bearings in it, which is pretty good. You know, you can definitely tell that it's smooth when you reel it in and all that. I was just kind of surprised that, you know, with the way they made this and the price point, that the reel doesn't seem just a little bit better. These grips here, you know, they do have a little grippy like part that kind of comes up here. You can see the grip on the reel here, but it just, the reel does seem kind of flimsy, kind of cheesy. They definitely could have maybe put a little bit more time and effort into making some better grips for them, but it's not too bad. It definitely sits in your hand good. I think they got this in the right spot here to put your finger in. One thing that I thought was a little odd with the reel, and this could be standard for Lews, I'm not really sure, but your hook slot here is actually behind the reel, almost at the end of the rod. I'm not really sure why they did that, you know, and it's not a big deal. I just thought it was a little odd. You put it way back here, and I'm kind of used to normally it being up here. Not really the end of the world. It's kind of out of the way so the hook doesn't hit a bunch of stuff, but I probably would have rather just saw it be up here in its normal spot. But maybe that's something that Lews does, and if there's a reason behind that, put a comment down below, because I'm honestly not sure. I couldn't really find anything on it, so I'm not sure what that's all about. I do like on the reel, though, that the brakes are numbered, so you can see where you're at. Right now I have it set to half. I'm at the 5 on the brakes, and you can go all the way up to 10, or obviously all the way down to 0. I did cast with it a few times at 0, and it seemed like it was prone to backlashing. And I'll actually cast this thing out as far as I can and show you guys. Right now I have it at half, and if I really rip it out there, it casts pretty good. There's no issue with backlashing. I didn't even have to touch the reel. But if I put it down to 0, it definitely looks like it's gonna bird's nest. I did get a pretty nasty bird's nest the last time I tried this, but I'll try it just for you guys. So we got it all the way down to 0, and you can see pretty nasty bird's nest. Hopefully I can get that out, but I'm gonna get this bird's nest out here. I'll just have to pull it out, and give me a minute, guys, and we'll get back to it here.
A few moments later.
Okay, so I was able to get the bird's nest out, but I'll be honest, that was a pretty gnarly bird's nest. I had to pull dang near half the reel out, and I don't know if that's just because the reel seems like it's, you know, on the cheaper end of the spectrum, but you're definitely, I would recommend keeping those brakes up to halfway, if not even higher. But at halfway, it seems like you're pretty safe. I mean, I don't even really have to put my thumb on it at halfway, and I can cast as hard as I want. But I just feel like with some of my reels, I know I can turn the brakes all the way down and cast as hard as I want. I don't have to have an issue with it. You know, maybe you have to put your thumb on it a little bit, but with this guy, it bird's nests even before your lure hits the water, which isn't great. But I mean, at the price point, I think, you know, right around 150 bucks for the whole combo, not the end of the world. But I would say, you know, for the price, you could probably buy, you know, an individual rod and an individual reel and possibly get a better bang for your buck. One rod that I would definitely recommend checking out, one combo, is the Abu Garcia Max Pro. I actually did a review on that. I'll link that in the top of the video here, but that reel, you know, is actually cheaper than this one. That combo is cheaper than this one, and this is actually the first Lews that I've ever owned, so I can't really speak for all the other Lews, but I'm a big Abu Garcia fan, so, you know, maybe that's just the way that Lews are. But with that being said, the rod definitely shines here. You do have a nice grip at the end here. That feels pretty good. It's definitely more than enough to do a two-handed cast. Really, all in all, guys, I think the only downside to this combo is the reel. But with that being said, it does still seem like it's a pretty decent reel. I don't have too much bad to say about it. The gear ratio is good. And the 8 bearings, I mean, that's something to note too. You know, that is obviously pretty quality. I just wonder that if the bearings that they put in there maybe weren't top notch or something. But I do like it. You know, I'm excited to use this thing. Obviously, it looks really nice. I keep kind of saying that. But for the price, I mean, you probably can't go wrong, but I think you could definitely express other options. All in all, though, guys, if you want to check this reel out, I will link it in the description down below. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys want to see more product review videos, make sure you subscribe to the channel and like the video, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.